Welcome back, my apple cinnamon puff pastries. Juiciest crypto news coming to you now, friends. We have Bitcoin sitting at 51,000 American dollars as well. We don't have anything much to change overnight, but Bitcoin is now slowly coming back into this golden box of friendship. This whole move, I'm telling you now, friends, it reminds me exactly of this ferocious move that we saw. There was like this and a pop up. You see these moves, friends? This is what happens as Bitcoin distributes now. It's actually called the WankOff distribution. Why? What they do is on the first dip, everyone thinks, oh, I told you it was a scam, but no. Then they send it back through the highs. This is a very, very common pattern. And what I just showed for you visually is this, like back, bang. You see that? And then down, bang. It basically fools everybody. You see this? New high, new high, new high, but it's slowing down. The rate of new highs is actually slowing down. This is classical scum moves. Look, they did it right here as well. Like go down, new high. You see that? And then actually it was all over. So have you noticed that, friends? Right before these big moves, there's always this new high. Coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, this is just how markets move. We're also still waiting for Ethereum to wake up. Remember, Ethereum's USD price is still $2,950. It hit $3,000. I mean, it's really, really touching around there, but everything that we need to see can be shown through that ETH BTC chart, which I'm going to show you. Right now, we're still waiting for it to do this W formation, but everything else, friends, for example, this is Link ETH. Link ETH is an absolute abomination if you put it on a linear chart. I put a log chart, you can see they made this like no chart in crypto can do this, by the way. This is literally all investors who invested in Link are up. Every single public investor, this is making this rounded bottom, okay? So it's not a fake launch where you like launch high and drop it down. No. This is actually high or low for these. It's just that's going to take some time. Now, how much time? We don't know, but on average, okay, you need the Bitcoin halvening year. Things get a bit exciting, a bit, but not enough to retire. No one retires in a Bitcoin halvening year for most people. You don't get that euphoria and excitement. No one even says, oh, we're going to be rich, really. That only comes when Bitcoin breaks the all-time high. That's what we're waiting for right now. But today, like still seeing these charts, I know they look poopy, but it's still telling me like one day ChainLink is going to be like 4.8x higher than today based off Ethereum. So if you're bullish on Ethereum, if you think Ethereum is going to do a triple from here, from 3 to 9K, that's a triple, then ChainLink's going to do 12x, which is nuts, right? Because if you do 12 times its price of like $17, 12 times 17, you have around the $200 link, stinky link. Isn't that amazing? A $200 link if we get there. We're just using the ratios here. If you're wondering how we got that number, all I'm doing is I'm imagining in my mind, can this chart go back here one day? You go, okay, well, what does this mean? Okay, I found out the distance it goes up. Another way to look at it is you look at this number on the far right, 0.03. You say, okay, that means whatever price Ethereum is at, ChainLink is 3%. So if you think Ethereum hits $10,000 and ChainLink is 3%, well, guess what? You got a $300 link, which is a huge leverage position gain on Ethereum from now. I also want to remind you too, baby dolls, I have been telling you now, if you look at the others' dominance, okay, a lot of people getting very, very upset, but look, I'm not gonna shut my mouth and just start. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? Look, we are already moving altcoins a lot. We have already moved. This is the others' dominance. This is outside top 10 crypto. They've already moved. This is not like making things up. And I have this box here to show you, okay? This is what happens in a Bitcoin halvening year. And what I've done now is quickly change the colors here for you. See the yellow golden box? This is Bitcoin halvening year. This is basically the traffic light signal, okay? And then the green's the actual real big alt season. But Bitcoin halvening year, okay? Bitcoin halvening year. Look, can you see it again? So in Bitcoin halvening year, look, we've already been going up. And then we have some sort of reset later on. Now, you don't know. I've already done the fractals here for you. So if you go off 2016, Altseason's already done. Or Altseason already peaked like a week or two ago back here. Okay, that's if you go off 2016 fractal. If you want to use 2020 as your base case, we still have up to June to go. So what's going to happen next? I mean, no one knows what happens next. Even if you said to me, hey, even if Bitcoin, even if alt season is over, what would you do? If you ask me that, I still wouldn't sell anything right now. I don't think core coins have gone up enough. I don't think ChainLink at $17 to $20 is worth touching. Obviously, PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex, you're like, what rally? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's worth risking that at all. I only said, I'm not trying to time any of these. It's just that if I see big macro stuff happening and we get a nice flush up somewhere, and I think we're running too early, that's it. Okay, but it's not going to be like, don't be like keeping your finger on the trigger button, because if you do, it's not going to turn out well. I've seen a lot of people as well. Saw one gentleman, I hope he's listening to this. He literally said, I've sold 80% of my Hex stack. I'm going to buy back lower. And I was like, you know what, man? Everybody did this for a year and a half and it actually worked. It worked, but it's been going on for a year and a half. You know, it's not going to go on forever. So the more that you try to do these, just you increase your odds that you're going to actually get wrecked and you have to buy back higher with less coins. So this is where we are today, this Bitcoin season halvening year. Now, here's the thing, okay? This move, friends, I know it doesn't look like much, but actually it is, all right? Because this was DeFi move, right? DeFi got mania up here. So I'm hoping we get some sort of mania here, but what's the mania going to be? It's going to be a new thing. I know most core coins aren't rallying, but... all right, now obviously Chainlink rallied, but I've shown you data. I've made specific episodes to show you. There has been AI coins. They've had an alt season. All AI coins going nuts. You had DESI, decentralized. I don't know what it stands for. Decentralized science, whatever it is. I'm just joking. Okay. There's also DPIN. So is decentralized penis, which is physical infrastructure. That's another one that's been going. Now, obviously, don't sell bags to go buy into these. They've already started running. They've already had their alt season. Oracles as well. Yes, you saw Chainlink go up, but there's also like these mini scam oracles around these other chains. But hey, they just had another season here and there. Also, there's been an NFT resurgence, but that's the NFT bear market recovery. And guess what? We saw ERC 404, which is Gophers and new coins come out. You had Pandora, 250 million market cap, and all these things appear. You also had Pudgy Penguins go up too. Okay, so you get to see, I've just named for you off the top of my head 5 or 6 things, new cycle things that have been going up. So this is the definition of an alt season. We're also seeing Crypto Banter show. They are making top 5 coins you need to retire out of a list of 20. Okay, they're making these types of headlines. Now I watched the episode. Okay, they have like stuff. Of course, friends, you talk to Rand's a smart guy. He's talking about, oh, you got to hold long terms. Of course they say that, but I'm just going for what banner are they using, because they know what retailers want. The weaker and weaker hands are emerging. Okay, so this is not me talking, just the data talking. In other good news though as well, BRoots goes on to Crypto Banter show, friends, and reveals more PulseChain PLS exposure to the world. So here we have the clip here. This is Mr. BRoots. Now this is Kyle Chassé, friends, in the top right. Kyle Chassé, apparently Mr. BRoots and him made a bet that PulseChain will flip Solana. I think it's pretty cool. Like, it's smart, friends. You got to do this type of competition stuff. You basically got to align yourself as like, hey, we're challenging you now, because if you're challenging, there's always like this residual market cap value that goes in, and attention as well. You know, rappers do it, music people do it, sports teams do it. They always know the rival teams always have like almost full sellouts for games and stuff. Now, Kyle on the top right, friends, he is the CEO and founder of Paid. Now, if you know, I do Paid Launchpad, they have Ether games coming out now. But I'm telling you now, friends, the IDOs are going to feel like freaking hotcakes, because no one wants to buy on launches anymore. Okay, now I know people do. They want to snipe them and participate, but everybody knows, crap, I got to get in early. I got to get in early. And people are learning this. You know, in the last bull market, they learned this after the Bitcoin halvening year, 1 year after. Now, have you noticed people are starting to do it today? So Ether Games is coming out literally in a few days. I've already made all the posts about it. You don't have to participate in any of these, friends, but it's free money if you win if you win one of the public slots. You just got to spam it. You got to be ready. You do the preparation for that. I've already explained it 1,000 times here for you. Now, the beautiful thing is that just the fact that Mr. BRoots there is putting PulseChain exposure, that's the most important part. There are some people, I saw some people making some comments saying like, oh, I didn't explain it right, etc. You should have talked about the staking and the airdrop. Like, friends, I know, like, Mr. BRoots, he knows what he's doing, man. He goes, okay, I got 30 seconds. No one wants to hear, well, we are an Ethereum with a validator yield and these things that, you know, no one cares, blah, 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 switches off. Okay, that's in one ear, out the other. Okay, so you can't speak to an audience like that. You got 500,000 people. You just got to tell them, we're going to pump more and we're sexier or undervalued. That's it. That's all we want to hear. We're going to pump more. Yes, you might say, oh, that might be empty promises. Doesn't matter. It's the whole industry, friends. It's literally the whole industry. You were here. I gave you the dose of reality for the past 2 years. No one's going to listen to me now going forward, because I'm not doing your 4,000x up arrow to the moon. I don't really care. because I know I can't affect it anyway. I'm just going to be folding my arms, sitting on my squeaky chair, wearing fluffy slippers, and waiting for euphoria. That's it. I'm not giving any of these price targets. No. Why should I give price targets now for people to front run and to see how I'm feeling and thinking? Probably not. So when euphoria comes, I'll be making, you'll be kind of knowing. Okay, you'll be knowing. So when it comes to these, friends, remember, any exposure is good exposure. Doesn't matter what it is. Even for me, friends, people come, full moon came out, 2 red weekly candles. People even started fighting me. Guess what? My subs start going up. My follower count starts going up. My engagement starts going up. Okay, that's really weird. Why is it when the fight happens? Now, when I started doing this, I never wanted to participate in any of that. I'm like, I don't really care. Subs, thumbnails, I don't give a crap. But it's just crazy. Other people, me not even doing anything, other people are like dragging my name, trying to like, hey, either latch on or like, oh, he's fart. Oh, is he bullish or is he bearish? Bro, Habib. Okay, let's play some pump music so you know. How many sell videos have I made? 0. How many bullish videos have I made? 1,800 plus. Okay, so if you interpret that as bearish, there's something wrong with you. Okay, but I'm tongue in cheek here. I know what everyone's talking about. Humans think linear terms. They think if we win, okay, we go 1000x. And that's it. They think because we're not going to 0, we're going 1000x. And what I'm saying is, no, the overvalued zone is much lower than your 1000x, and it can happen much lower. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And then that, I guess that dose of reality is too harmful for people. But guess what? Not harmful for us. I was buying when the corrupt SEC was taking on Richard Hart, okay, publicly. I was buying when my own family members were like, man, you pretty much, you effed up, didn't you? Getting everyone into this scam, Ponzi, it's never gonna recover, he's never gonna deploy the funds, etc. You really messed up. Yeah, I was literally buying, fading people doing that. I'm like, oh man, these people are always wrong. It feels bad, but whatever. Okay, what were other people doing? Mainstream people were saying, don't worry, your little shitty $1,000 is gonna go a 1000x. You're gonna retire with $1,000. That's not going to help anyone, okay? That's telling people you don't need to work harder to increase your bag size because you're going to go 1000x anyway, okay? Remember, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Speaking of the road to hell, Crapo, friends, has exited all altcoins. Now, it might be a road to hell for him because this might be the catalyst we need for a continued alt season. Here I am reporting it to you, okay? Crapo is actually out of altcoins. Look at it, he literally, friends, I had to triple check this was the right username. I have taken all profits on altcoin positions. I'm totally out of the market now. So Crapo, of course, has blocked me. That's why I'll always be Crapo. And also being wrong, eternally wrong. I mean, you know, he's been bearish since literally 13 months ago. Okay, literally 13 months ago. And I paid a tweet. And I remember, like, he was just literally turbo bearish from the bottom. So he was basically bearish with Richard Hart at the bottom. And I remember seeing that. I was like, man, I just don't think they're both going to be right. I just don't think so. I think Richard Hart's right in euphoria. I don't think it's right when Davey Soy Hoffman is crying on camera saying there's no hope for the industry. I just don't think so. And look what ends up happening. So we were long, right? That's all that matters. Now, Crapo still has his turbo doom bearish scenario. We just go straight to 0. He's out of altcoins. Is this the alt season that comes? Friends, let me tell you something that I've told you thousands of times. It's a Bitcoin halvening year. I'm here 18 hours a day. I've already given you the formula. Okay, I've given you the formula. I've given you the framework. If we repeat, if you believe we're always going to repeat and the cycle's going to repeat, okay, well, old narratives don't move. Okay, old narratives have done most of their move now. They've got between like a 50% and a 2.5x to go for the whole year. That's it, done. Max, literally max. A lot of them have already done enough of a move. No, it's crazy, yeah. Like on average, if you go back, old narratives. What's an old narrative? DeFi. Okay, for example, that was new back in 2020. It's not anymore. That includes PulseChain, PulseChain Connect. Even though you're a cycle 1 coin, the narrative attached to you, your purpose for existing, you are leeching off the mind share from the old cycle. That's why there's less new emotional money coming in a Bitcoin halvening year. The pump we are looking for is after Bitcoin breaks the all-time high. Okay, so is Bitcoin above 69K? No, it's not. It's below it. So this is pretty much where everyone's get to see. Now, if you measure from the low to the bot to the top to where we are now, everything looks sweet. Problem is, everyone's long for much higher, right? That's why, friends, now you get to see why I don't like people measuring from the bottom of Hex, because you know 90% of people were in from day one adoption amplifier. Okay, that's a real, to me, that's almost like the range is like the real price to me. I don't measure that to the bottom because, hey, I can give you an Ethereum for free. Oh, you got it for zero. Let's tell everybody you did an infinite return on Ethereum, for example. Okay, so I don't personally like doing that. Just like, I know, friends, look, this is the funny part. I can tell you with 100% certainty, if PulseChain does a 10x from here, right? And I hope it's much, much higher. But if it does a 10x from here to the end of the cycle, I'm telling you now, when Richard measures, he's going to go from day one launch. He's going to go to that minus 95% tick, and he's going to measure to the top. And he's going to do that. Wow, we still went up 10 times 10, 100x. He's going to measure that, okay? Because he's been doing that before. But you're going to be like, no, it's not. Man, I put in my money 4 years ago. I just got to, you know what I mean? I know how these things work. Now, I hope it goes much, much, much higher. Much higher. But luckily for us, we have been accumulating. We don't need to rely on this massive euphoria wave. Because you don't really know, friends. I'm just saying, okay, 4-year cycle is going to repeat. How do we know? You don't know shit. I don't know anything. Okay, okay, it's repeating right now. What if Bitcoin tops out too early this year? What if it's not enough time? Okay, also people are saying, okay, Richard's deploying the DAI in. I bet like you wish he bought Ethereum with it now, because, you know, if he bought Ethereum at the low and he swooped it, by the time ETH starts making its move, he could have 4 times the money. So that 600 million DAI could be 2.4 billion with a B worth of value if he was able to buy the bottom, except he missed the bottom. Okay, so this is just the reality of the situation we're dealing with. Maybe these are types of the things that people like will justify in the future why we didn't go 1000x. They go, oh, if Richard bought the bottom, we would have done this. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think from the future, because right now we can't change anything right now. But I'm always trying to see, oh, can we impact anything today? No, all I know is that we're cheap. Now, this was also interesting. Fake DeFi Uniswap, friends, they did a proposal for Uni staking and it pumped 76% instantly. This is the news as I showed it. Look at this big candle, 76% pump for Uni. This is a Uni proposal. They're going to do staking. See, the market cap for Uni is like still 8-9 billion, and that's still here. Okay, so it's fake DeFi Uniswap. It did a 76% pump on this proposal. It's basically, it's not really juicy. I think it's just give out yield if you stake a Uni, but you're delegating for people to do the fake DeFi governance stuff. So it's not like, I don't think it's like a big buy and burn or anything, but you know, these market things are, friends. They go off Metcalfe's law, and it doesn't even need a real buy and burn. People still buy it up anyway. But you just got to think from here. For Uni, what are they actually going to do in terms of like how fast they're going to upgrade this? Because Uni might be leading the pack. We don't know. First, it was ChainLink. ChainLink actually ran first in DeFi year, and then DeFi, the rest of DeFi started coming on later. Remember, because ChainLink's an oracle. It's connected to DeFi, but it encompasses other sectors as well. Like ChainLink will encompass AI. It will encompass oracle, real-world assets, and all these other sectors as well, just because it links data, and everything needs data, okay? But when it comes to Uni, where do we go from here? Remember, Uni ETH is still the Uni ETH ratio, it's still very, very low. And I wonder if it's mispriced a bit. I just don't know what opportunity you could get here when you just know, like, do you want to be buying an 8 billion valuation coin right now? That's all I'm saying. Yes, we have PulseX. You're like, oh, PulseX is huge. Yes, it does. PulseX, it's nice. You already earn the yield, and it's liquidity bonded to Pulse and Hex, and we know it's gate kept. You know what I mean? That's a big advantage. We know PulseX's valuation is gate kept, not listed on any exchanges. You can't get it anywhere, and a lot of people don't know how to get it. That's telling me something, right? Whereas Uni, everybody does know how to get it. It does have all these other things. You know what I mean? It does have everyone, if they want it, they can participate in it. Everyone's heard of it. And I also want to make a quick mention too. Isn't it crazy, friends? I spent all of 2023 telling you that 2024 year will be filled by magical bullish upgrades to crypto projects. Friends, I told you, you were here. I said 100 plus times. I said, guys, I know 2023 sucks, but in 2024, the Bitcoin halving, you're going to see magical random upgrades. Teams, founders, they're going to come back, right? We already saw it with Richard Hart, by the way. He announced his fight against the corrupt SEC, and he starts deploying the funds. Bank, okay, in Bitcoin halving year. You also saw, now Uni, they're doing the proposal, oh, let's give everyone staking. You're going to see many of these other things. Maybe PulseX gets an upgrade later on this year as well. I don't know why they do it in Bitcoin halving year. Everybody does it in Bitcoin halving year. They're probably all smart and they know to prepare for the bull market. Let's do the upgrade here so we have time. But that's what basically happens. That's the pattern of behavior that we've seen. Bitcoin halving year means just Everybody starts doing upgrades. Version 2, oh, let's give yield, or let's do this, let's pivot, let's do everything starts coming out in this year because everyone knows they're here for when Bitcoin breaks the all-time high to try usher in more demand. And speaking of a Bitcoin halvening year, friends, thanks to Satoshi, right? Donald Trump says he likes Bitcoin. So very interesting. I've already made a video, right, just about Donald Trump saying, I like Bitcoin. And remember, we're not political here, don't really care. But I'm just informing you that there's a political team in the US. If Donald Trump starts gaining in polls, remember, because Joe Biden, friends, they got political analysts. They're there 30 hours a day, just reading the polls and the people. They've got to maximize what they can do. Can we pivot on an issue? They've got to tweak everything. That's why they have no soul or no spine. They don't actually really believe anything. They have a formula and they're like, okay, what can we like plus or minus on our stances here to maximize our votes? That's basically what it is. Because you're like, okay, you don't really believe in anything. You just want to try, see what the people believe in on average. So when it comes to this, if Donald Trump's gaining in polls and there is positive crypto stuff, remember, in crypto, friends, we respect the crypto dollar. All right, that's it. I don't care what political, moral issue they have. I don't care. This is me. If I was a US citizen, I'm like, okay, who's giving me the better crypto deal? And depending how much it swings, if public opinion is starting to swing to Sir Donnie Trump, probably Joe Biden's camp, they're going to have to pivot on something. Okay. Now, what's that pivot going to be? We don't know. Corrupt SEC, telling him to lay off. Ethereum ETF, you know what I mean? You don't know, like talking about I don't know what these are, but something appears. You already saw the laser eyes with Joe Biden. I know people say it's with the Chiefs. I don't believe any of that, by the way. There's just, do you think it's coincidence? Bitcoin spot ETF, laser eye? Come on. Okay. You had any time to do that. But look, when it comes to this, we need this to happen. It's outside of our control, but imagine there's a world where we get a mania this year. Bitcoin breaks the all-time high earlier than expected. That would be crazy. And everybody's believing that 2025 will finish like mega strong, but it starts mega strong, finishes weak. That's still one of the dark prophecies, remember? We're ready for that. We hope it doesn't happen. We're ready for that. But traditionally, the most important part, 3 out of 3 times, altcoins have topped out 1 year after the Bitcoin halvening. So it would be April 2025, 3 out of 3 times. Do you want to bet against it? Like, that'd be crazy if it happens again. When people heard this, now they say, oh, but you said Altseason's already started. Could be almost over. Like, no, read properly, friends. I know the fact that people reacted negatively just tells me, man, you guys are way overexposed already. You're underinvested and you're overexposed. You're overexposed emotionally and you're underinvested. Because if I tell you this wave could be over or it's over for another 2x, you know the next wave, you're like, oh, man, what are we going to do? Like another triple to 5x max? And you're like, oh, I don't retire in a 5x. Yeah. Congratulations. If only you had a friend telling you your little $1,000 is not getting 1,000x. If only you had I can't find this friend wearing a cork hat and having a very straight posture. I can't figure it out. Okay. That's why it's really important. You don't believe these people. These are just narratives to get everybody excited. Okay. This is the popular, always popular narratives. I'm always unpopular. Why? Fading the crowd. Okay. Doing what's right is fading the crowd, friends. Yes. You give someone donuts or give someone broccoli. They're choosing the donut every time. Okay. I'm giving you broccoli and vegetables. Okay. So you know what it comes down to now. Now, accumulate as many bags as you can, but you know time is running out. You're not going to get the lucrative prices of last year. And everyone's like in disbelief because people thought prices would be 10x higher than now. They go, but they're not that much higher than last year. Yes, they are. If you measure from the bottom to the top, they're not from everyone's average entry. Okay, you know what to do, friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you very soon.